keeps moving on, anxiety and unrest, please just let me be. And all the faults I've taken in the past, is everything now I expect. A blast, a catalyst can make a change that just might last. So here it is in front of you, no chance to fake it. Remember the perfect picture you drew, the way you're living, chances are you'll never make it. So your only option is to move on. Living life is nice inside the box. It's good 'cause everyone is here for judging me. I'm part of the society. And every face you see that says your name will always give you just a smile, but while forgotten is you and what you've done that still remains. So here it is in front of you, no chance to fake it. Remember the perfect picture you drew, the way you're living, chances are you'll never make it. So your only option is to move on. So here it is in front of you, no chance to fake it. Remember the perfect picture you drew, the way you're living, chances are you'll never make it. So your only option is to move on.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from around the world, welcome to Race 3 of the TNT Tuesday Night Series. I am Scott Kolovic, your announcer for the evening. Joining me in the booth is my good friend, Joel Guy. How are you doing, Joel Guy?
Scott, I'm doing just great tonight. I'm ready for some good super speedway drafting at Daytona.
Copy that, Joel. We are right now getting ready for these drivers to go underneath our qualifying rounds. Now tonight we are at Daytona. Talk to us about Daytona.
Daytona is a 2.5 mile track. It's classified a tri-oval because it has a dog leg in the front stretch. There's 4 corners, 31-degree banking in the corners, and slight banking on the front straightaway where the dog leg is. It's a super fast track, but the apron is dead man's land.
Absolutely correct. That apron, it is the driver killer. Now with that banking, when these drivers are pulling out of pit row tonight, they actually have got to let out of that throttle. They cannot go out of pit row full throttle like they do here at Talladega, because if you do, your right front's going to pop that apron and you are going to go for a left turn into the infield. So not only is the entrance into pit row critical, the exit even more critical.
Absolutely, Scott. The banking going up and onto the track is not as banked as much at Talladega, so they can't lay on that banking and build speed like they do at Talladega, because it's more flat going off of turn 1 and 2.
Copy that. Now, this is a points race. As I mentioned, Joel, we are in race 3 of our 15-week series. Our current race leader in the point standings is Travis Browder. Unfortunately, not able to be with us tonight, so that's going to cost him in points. Our second place is Dustin Lee. Third place belongs to Tristan Beach. Fourth place, Edward Bray. And Southeast Motorsports' very own Michael Jeans. And those are the top 5 point leaders in our 15-race season. But I tell you what, Joel, plenty of time for drivers back there in the back. If they're not up here yet, plenty of time to get there, because next week we are taking the Sprint Cup Series off to Kentucky. That will be a very exciting race.
Yeah, Kentucky with the Sprint Cup cars is going to be a very exciting race. That track's just been resurfaced, so it's going to be fast. Going to be a little slick, though.
Now, tonight's race is brought to you by Jason Russo and Pro Automotive. Pro Automotive, the official sponsor for KMA Racing, located out of Dudley, Massachusetts. Our race is being broadcast tonight by All Pro Broadcasting Network with Michael D'Amico on the cams, bringing you all of the action straight from the eye in the sky and on the track and in the in-car. What an exciting night, Joel.
Yes, this is going to be an exciting night. You're going to see some good 2 and 3 wide racing, as well as some pack racing with a lot of drafting bumper to bumper.
Now we do have the newer drivers on the field. We've been talking a lot about the guys over there at Southeast Motorsports. Great bunch of guys. We've got Mitchell Reeves out here representing Matt Clifton, Dustin Lee, Michael Jeans, Nick Reynolds, and Vern Margheim. Those are the 6 Southeastern Motorsports out here. But talk to us about some of our other drivers, Joel.
Some of our other drivers we got is in KMA we have Edward Bray, Bobby Everhart, Jason Russo, Jarrett Lipster, Ivan Garcia, Tristan Beats, and some more. And those are good drivers. They run in the pack together. Bobby Everhart, they run in a pack together and draft well as a team.
Well, and the draft will be very important out here tonight at Daytona, just as important as it is out there on Talladega. Now, these drivers are going to have to work for it tonight in pit row. They're looking at about a 28-lap fuel run. So we're going to be looking at the possibility of 3 green flag pit stops, and that is what we are hoping for out here tonight in Race 3 of the TNT Tuesday Night Series.
Yeah, green flag pit stops will break up the packs into smaller packs, and that'll give you even better racing because you won't have as big a chance of getting the big one because you'll have smaller packs of cars together.
Now we have got about 20-25 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, until we go into our race and begin our night. But I want to give a big shout out to Pad. KMA Racing and All Pro Broadcasting standing behind Pad 100%. People Against Distracted Driving. And you can find more information about PAD at padd.org. Our drivers have finished up their qualifying rounds, and we are waiting for these drivers to step into their Chevy Impala National 2011 tonight. Driving a car from many, many years ago, but I tell you what, this is a good little car. Going to see speeds upwards of 197 miles per hour tonight, Joel. Sitting out there in position 1, Raymond Rittenauer driving the number 22 with a 49.485. Side by side with the number 32, Seth DeMerchant with a 49.486. Number 20, Tim B. Cox. Third spot, 49.523. 02, Mitchell Reeves with a 49.525. And the number 19, Donald Sadusky, 49.535 in 5th place.
In 6th place, we have Matt Crafton in the number 21 car, and that's with a 49.539. In 7th place is Dustin Lee in the 51 with a 49.553. In 8th place, we have Jason Ruscio in the 14 car, and he has a 49.553. In 9th place, we have Bobby Everhart in the 71 car with the 49.566. In 10th place, we have Michael Jeans in the 8 car with the 49.568.
Scott Fenstermacher driving the number 27 tonight with a 49.570, side by side with Ronald Hatfield in position 12 with a 49.571. Number 66, Edward Bray, we call him the Reaper, 13th position, appropriate number right there for the Reaper, 49.574, tied with the number 7 of Steve Dutz with a 49.574 for 9th, and the number 99, Jarrett Lipster in 15th with a 49.588.
In 16th place, we have Vernon Marheim in the 33 car with a 49.677. In 17th place, we have Nick Reynolds in the 54 car with a 49.699. In 18th place, we have Tristan Beats in the 211 car with a 50.233. And not qualifying, we have 19th place is Donald Stewart in the 78. 20th place is Everett Lane in the 24.
21st position belonging to the number 90 of Craig Kenny. 22 spot, number 77, Jack Watts, followed by Ivan Garcia in P23. Gary Burt, number 88, P24, and Steven Slicker in position 25. Tyler Chalk, position 26. Gary Whitmer Jr., position 27, followed by Jacob Trent Bradford and J.R. Johnson and Chris Hogue taking the rear of the field. Going to be a very exciting night tonight. This is race 3 of the TNT series. Now, Joel, all starts and restarts are to be done on leader's will tonight. They do not have to wait for that green flag. Once that pit car drops there into pit row, if the leader chooses to do so, he can be hammered down or he can wait.
Yeah, he can try to snooker the field and drop the hammer just as soon as the pace car drops off, or he can hold them up and then drop it halfway through to the green flag and maybe snooker the field and get him a jump.
Pace car is off, and our race leader, Raymond Rittenauer, hard on that accelerator pedal, but so is the number 32 of Seth, the Merchant. Now Seth has dropped directly behind Raymond Rittenauer, possibly already finding himself an early partner tonight on lap 1 at Daytona. So we have got the number 20 of Tim B. Cox and Donald Sadusky moving up into that outer lane, going to challenge Raymond and Seth side by side going into turn 3.
Yeah, they're going down the back stretch now. They're going too wide down the back stretch. Going into 3, still too wide. Coming out of 3 on into 4, still too wide. Raymond Rittenauer has a slight lead going to the start-finish line.
Now Donald Sadusky abandoning the number 20 of Tim B. Cox on that outer lane. So Tim B. Cox out there all by himself getting past side by side with Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves onto the rear end of Donald Sadusky. Looking for another partner. A little bit back behind Mitchell Reeves. 21, Matt Clifton, currently sitting in position 6. Getting a little bit of boost from his good friend Dustin Lee in the number 51. Ladies and gentlemen, we are off to a very good start tonight at Daytona. Raymond Rittenauer, Seth Merchant, and Donald Sadusky, top 3.
Yeah, we have Donald's trying to get closer and closer, and Raymond Rittenauer's still in the lead as they go across the start-finish line on the front stretch.
Well, Raymond Rittenauer getting ready to get challenged by that outside lane. The outside lane being led by the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, being pushed on by his good friend and teammate, Matt Clifton. Behind Matt Clifton, we have got the number 51 of Dustin Lee, followed by Michael Jeans, Southeastern Motorsports, to the outside lane, beginning to get that freight train going, ladies and gentlemen. And we have got our race leader, 02 Mitchell Reeves, down onto the front line in front of Raymond Rittenauer, possible new leader on lap 3.
The lead don't count until they get to the start-finish line, so he's not got the lead yet.
Very tight side-by-side racing. Number 19, Donald Sadusky, rocking the apron just a little bit, but good save, but that is going to cost him a little bit of time. Up here in the front with Mitchell Reeves and Matt Clifton side by side. Number 51, Dustin Lee, all over the rear end of Matt, almost looking like he wanted to go 3 wide, backing her down. And we are going to have Michael Jeans in the number 8 backing it down off of Dustin, trying to keep the Southeastern Motorsports freight train going.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the train going. Matt Clifton is pushing on Mitchell Reeves hard, and Dustin Lee is just sitting back there staying close.
Now I do know, Joel, that Raymond Rittenauer, more of an independent operator here tonight, not really having any teammates out there, so it'll be very interesting watching some of the moves that Raymond might be making, because oftentimes he may feel like a piece of salt inside of a pepper shaker. Just like right now, he has that opportunity to go 3 wide, but his option is to stay down there and right now be the partner, be the very best friend Mitchell Reeves has to offer, but he has got to keep that Impala off of that yellow line.
Yeah, if he cuts down onto that yellow line, he's going for a ride. This track is not your friend below the yellow line.
And Raymond Rittenauer going for the pass on Mitchell Reeves on lap 6, ducking to the high line. Going to get a big boost from the number 21 of Matt Clifton. Now, as I just mentioned, Raymond kind of working by himself right now. Anybody is his partner. Anybody is his friend. So hopefully he's hoping that Matt will get him past the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves, but there's a possibility that Matt is going to go 3 wide with his teammate, Dustin Lee.
It is possible. It's kind of early to be pushing 3 wide because you still got to make pit stops. And don't matter where you're sitting right now, first, second, third, or 25th, it's all going to change before we reach the end of this race.
And the only lap that matters is the last lap that you win it. So right now, all drivers actually being very, very patient. Our current race leader on lap 7 is Mitchell Reeves, racing side by side with Raymond Rittenauer. Now, Joe, look at how tight these drivers are right now. That 21 all over the rear end of Raymond, about as tight as a hair in a biscuit. What are you thinking?
Yeah, he's trying to be his license plate right now to break the draft as much as possible so that there's no air going on in front of his car and it's all going over his car to the next car.
Outside lane, losing momentum. We're going to have 3 wide with Dustin Lee. Possibly thought Dustin Lee was going to go 3 wide there on Raymond, but he backs her back down. But we do have Seth the Merchant up onto the outside lane. Seth the Merchant going to challenge Mitchell Reeves for that race lead, but Mitchell Reeves has got the number 19 of Donald Sadusky all over him. Donald Sadusky, very great driver representing KMA Racing tonight, side by side, trying to protect Mitchell in position 1.
Yeah, Donald's a very good drafting partner in these super speedway races. He drafts hard, but he's very conscientious. He will be aggressive when he needs to, though.
Right now, all drivers choosing to remain single file. Slight contact with Donald Sadusky and Seth. Just a little bit, just enough to rock you up, shake you up a little bit. No real damage done. But I tell you what, these drivers are going to be getting closer and closer to the side draft as this night continues.
Yeah, that's the one thing that will cause a caution too is the side drafting. We have this little thing called netcode, and netcode does not like you to side draft real close all the time.
Absolutely correct on that. Taking a look at Jason Russo tonight in the Pro Automotive Impala 2011, number 14. He is currently in position 5. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Russo in the number 14 is our sponsor for this series, so I want to give a great big shout out to Pro Automotive. You saw that introductory commercial put on by All Pro Broadcasting. If you ever broke down out there in Dudley, Massachusetts, give Jason a call. He'll hook you up, he'll set you up right, and you can tell him that KMA sent you. Pro Automotive.
Yeah, Jason's a good guy, and his shop, from all the pictures I've seen of, is a top-notch shop to have work done in. Donald Sadusky's flirting with that yellow line, and that's going to come back to bite him, I'm afraid.
Yes, sir, it will. That yellow line is not your friend here at Daytona, and that is what makes Daytona such an interesting track, because once these drivers get into pit row, the real action and competition is getting out of pit row. Donald Sadusky laying back into the rear end of our race leaders, Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves currently leading just about every lap tonight at Daytona, side by side with Seth Merchant. Yeah,
they're still running 2 wide all the way back into the pack, and nobody's decided to give up on trying to get to the inside or the outside and just follow each other. So everybody's racing hard right now.
Dropping back to Dustin Lee in the number 21, side by side with Michael Jeans on lap 12. Now, I was watching Dustin, and once again, he was flirting down there with that yellow apron. And I tell you what, sometimes it actually will take you a wake-up call So realize how powerful that apron is. Now we have got 66 of Edward Bray. Edward Bray passing the number 51 of Dustin Lee momentarily 3 wide. Right now Edward Bray side by side with the number 20 of Tim B. Cox.
Yeah, Edwards fighting Tim for that position, and we got wrecked. Got a caution.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will bring out our first caution of the evening. Not seeing the caution flag yet.
Turn.
We do know that Donald Sadusky down on the apron. Donald Sadusky down on the apron, biting it, but no caution flag tonight on lap 13. Our current race leader, ladies and gentlemen, is Mitchell Reeves. We are on lap 14, ladies and gentlemen, no caution, but Jason Russo getting involved into that as well. That will change a little bit up here in front. We have got Raymond Rittenauer on the outside with Seth the Merchant racing for P1 and P2. Michael Jeans, P3, Michael Reeves, P4, Matt Clifton, P5, holding very strong tonight. On lap 14, down to the inside in front of Bobby Everhart. Raymond Rittenauer leading the pack, staying in front of Mitchell Reeves. Steve Dukes doing a very good job of third position in on the inside lane. Side by side with Raymond Rittenauer. Raymond Rittenauer looking for a partner. And Mitchell Reeves coming up to save the day for Richmond. We are on lap 15, no caution here at Daytona in race 3 of the TNT Series. Live broadcast brought to you by All Pro Broadcasting Network. Now, aside from racing, Joel, we got some great looking paints going on out here. Talk to me about the man behind the paints.
The man behind most of the paints out there tonight is John Hedrick from Over the Top Paints and Designs. He does an awesome job with paint jobs. He's painted some of the wonderful ones that we've had.
And we are under caution, ladies and gentlemen. Under caution here on lap 16. We're going to look at that on our All Pro Broadcasting replay and see exactly what went on. We do know that number 88 of Gary Burt was involved in it. Unfortunate break for Gary Burt. It appears that Gary Burt got into a little bit of trouble here, and it was into the rear end of Craig Kinney. I'm not sure which driver was to blame on that, but nonetheless, Gary Burt and Craig Kinney locking bumpers up on lap 15.
Yeah, it looked like Gary just did catch him on his left rear corner.
We've got a lot of angles we can look at that from, provided by Michael D'Amico and All Pro Broadcasting Network. And I tell you what, you look at it one way on this angle, you back it up, you look at it from another view, and that one there sure was hard to tell. It was hard to call, but I tell you what, both drivers, great racers, great drivers. So awesome racing right now. We are underneath our first caution on lap 16, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we are. Like I said, it looked like from the visions I've had on it, that Gary got into the back of the 90 car.
Now it will be very interesting to see what our race leaders do tonight. As far as the going into pit row, Mitchell Reeves is our race leaders with Seth the Merchant in P2. And sure enough, Mitchell Reeves making a very wise decision going into pit row underneath our first caution. Actually appears that most of our drivers tonight opting to go into pit row. Very good choices, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is. They can go and get fuel and get tires under caution. They won't lose near as much time on the track.
Now, are we talking 4 tires? Are we talking 2 tires? We know we're talking a full load of Sunoco fuel.
Yeah, we're talking a full load of fuel, and if I was driving, I would be going into pit road and taking 4 tires under caution, because you're not going to lose that much position on track to do so.
I tell you what, watching Bobby Everhart and Mitchell Reeves side by side out of pit row, that was a race out of pit row. But that is going to change up our positions out here in front and change our leader position.
Yes, it will. It looks like Mitchell Reeves is still holding the front, according to the scoring. We'll just have to see what happens when they get around to the start-finish line for the positions.
That is absolutely correct. They do have to cross that pit row, and I'm thinking that is going to possibly put Michael Jeans as our current race leader. He is the driver behind pace car. These drivers are getting ready to cross that start-finish line, and as soon as we know, we will tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Right before the caution, though, we were talking about our painter, John Hedrick, with Over the Top Paints and Designs. He is the man with the ink pen and the graphics, one of the most awesome painters within iRacing, and the head painter for KMA Racing.
Yes, John Hedrick is a wonderful painter. You give him a thought or a design that you want, and he can put it on the car. There's no doubt about it.
Now, here in about 3 weeks, Joel, we are going to be having the 3rd annual KMA Spooktacular, and John Hedrick with Over the Top, he's going to be working his ink pen down to the nubs right there. A very popular painter. Alrighty, that is our new race leader, Michael Jeans, representing Southeast Motorsports. We're going to get a quick interview in here with Michael.
But I tightened my
How about it,
seat
Michael
back
Jeans?
up.
Have you got a copy?
Oh, yes, sir.
Alrighty, you are our new race leader out here representing Southeast Motorsports. Talk to us.
Just tried a little strategy here. These cars are really good and don't wear the tires, so I took no tires on that stop. Get me out front, and hopefully I can stay there. I got a few teammates pretty close, so we should be able to stay up front and control this race.
Alrighty, well, talk to us about your teammates and talk to us about Southeast.
Southeast, just some good old boys from down south. See, we got Matt Clifton, Mitchell Reeves, Dustin Lee, Nick Reynolds. Unfortunately, Jeff T. Martin can't be here again. Kind of missing him, but we just like doing what we do.
Alrighty, and you boys sure are good at it. So big shout out tonight to the good old boys over at Southeast Motorsports.
Yep, shout out Over the Top Paints. John Hendrick got our team paint jobs done right before the race. Appreciate that a whole lot.
Alrighty, John Hedrick, great painter. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, like John Hedrick, I just can't wait to see some of the paint schemes he's going to throw up for the Spooktacular.
Joining us up in the booth right now is our number 2 spot, Tim B. Cox. You got about 10 seconds, buddy. How's your race going?
Pretty good. Don't have many friends out here, as you guys saw on those first couple of laps, but that's going to take some time, maybe for me to race with these guys a little bit. Maybe whenever we come back to the next plate race, I'll make some more friends.
Alrighty, copy that, and good luck to you tonight, Tim. Looking good out there.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, Joe, we're going to get right back here into some green flag racing. These drivers are on lap 20. We've got Michael Jeans, Tim B. Cox, Raymond Rittenmeyer, Matt Clifton, and the number 7 up, Steve Dutz, bringing down your top 5 tonight on lap 20. 7 lead changes, 1 caution so far. Pretty good racing here at Daytona.
Yes, it's been pretty good racing at Daytona, but it's going to get better. It's going to get exciting. These guys are already making it exciting.
Now this will be our first restart of the evening. As we mentioned, restarts are done on leader's discretion.
Yeah, leader's discretion, so we'll be watching to see if somebody tries to jump the start as soon as the pit car goes in and gets a big jump on everybody.
Now it does appear that Raymond Rittenauer, the number 22, he is already all over the rear end. Steve Dukes getting into the rear end of Raymond on that restart. No problems going on though with Steve Dukes. No front end damage, no rear end damage to Raymond, but I tell you what, that could have been ugly. Up in front, we've got Michael Jeans side by side with Tim Cox. The number 21 of Matt Clifton hopping down to that inside lane, abandoning Tim Cox up in that middle lane. Raymond Rittenauer coming back up to grab onto the number 20 of Tim. Partnership is everything here at Daytona.
Yes, it is. We just had Matt Clifton bump Michael Jeans to push him ahead even further. And that's what we call bump drafting.
But one thing about that bump draft, and you have got to be extremely careful with it here at Daytona, because I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this is a scenario. If you are bump drafting your partner into the corner and you get onto the right tail end of that Impala, you're going to send that driver completely for a tailspin. We are watching the number 22 of Raymond Rittenauer being pushed on by Tim Cox. Tim Cox being very careful not to turn his partner.
Yeah, he's backing off just enough going in the corner that they're not touching, but he's staying right on them. And that's the way to go through the corners. You don't want to be connected going through the corners because that's a tragedy fixing to happen.
Now we just did see the lap traffic of Donald Sadusky allowing safe passage for our leaders, Michael Jeans, Matt Clifton in total domination of that inside lane. Steve Dukes in the number 7 and one car back on the inside. Scott Finstermacher in the number 27 driving forward, KMA Racing. Now Scott Finstermacher is probably one of our most patient drivers out here, but he is getting a huge shove from the number 99 of Jarrett Lipster.
Yeah, Jarrett's a good pusher. He can push. Sometimes he pushes at the wrong point in time.
Jarrett Lipster, one of our younger drivers, but a very great asset here to KMA Racing. And we have seen Jarrett Lipster actually has backed off of Scott Finstermacher, has cost him about the distance of 3 car lengths, but he is hooking up with Tristan Meats in the number 211 tonight. But Tristan Meats up into the middle lane. Jarrett Lipster was kind of hoping he was going to stay down there on that inside lane, but no such luck. But Jarrett Lipster still in the pack. Jarrett Lipster right now in position 11 side by side with the number 54 of Nick Reynolds. Very tight racing right there with Nick and Jarrett.
Yeah, we got very tight racing with those, and up front, Tim Cox is weaving around a little bit, and that's not good.
Well, Tim Cox doing everything he can to keep that engine cool, and oftentimes when you're doing that, you got to peek out to get a little bit of air going into that front end. So he is going to be drifting in and out, watching Mitchell Reeves pushing onto the rear end of Michael Jeans, but Michael Jeans down to the inside lane, back in front of the number 22 of Raymond Rittenauer. Michael Jeans side by side with Mitchell Reeves. Each driver wanting to lead lap 26.
Yeah, they're wanting to lead a lap. They're still driving very cautious for this race and making it where we hopefully get some green flag pit stops.
And green flag pit stops, they are a lot of fun to watch, but they are hard as heck to manipulate and maneuver. Right now, our current race leader is Mitchell Reeves, side by side with Michael Jeans. Now looking at Edward Bray. Look at Edward Bray here in the number 66 on lap 26. The front lane opening up just a little bit as Mitchell Reeves drops down to the inside. That's going to allow Edward Bray to get up onto the rear end of Matt Clifton, possibly pushing Matt Clifton up there to the front. But Edward Bray in his rear view mirror has got his teammate Tristan Beats. We have got somebody spinning. I think it was Michael Jeans. Michael Jeans spinning out into pit row. Not sure if he got a bad bump or not, but ladies and gentlemen, we are still under green flag racing. Unfortunate break for Michael Jeans in the number 8 tonight on lap 27. It appears that Mitchell Jeans just got a bad bump right there, but we are back up with our leaders, Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves side by side with Matt Clifton. Now, Joel, Matt Clifton right now doing everything he can to dominate that middle lane, getting a huge boost out here from the number 66 of Edward Bray. And they are racing side by side, hard and heavy, with Mitchell Reeves and Raymond Rittenauer.
Yes, they are.
All drivers right now are still opting to remain double foul. Has seen very little tonight of the 3-wide action. But ladies and gentlemen, we are only on lap 28 of 80. And right now, no drivers wanting to take it 3-wide. 3-wide here at Daytona is something you will notice. There are very few white dotted lines. At Talladega, you almost got like an airplane runway. You've got those white lines. Here at Daytona, very few white lines to guide you. So when you get into that 3-wide, you really got no markers.
Yeah, you got no markers, and even the track is narrower at Daytona than it is at Talladega. The width of the track is narrower. It don't look it, but it is.
Number 22 of Raymond Rittenauer sitting in position 4, flirting with that yellow line. Number 21 is our race leader. We've got Edward Bray side by side with our race leader, Edward Bray, trying to lead his first lap of the night. Coming to lap 31, ladies and gentlemen, side by side with Matt Clifton.
Yeah, Edward's on the outside, side by side, and that means he can keep the torque going, and he might lead this lap.
Tristan Beats giving everything he has got to Edward Bray. Edward Bray going for that race lead, up by a nose, looking like a horse race at the Kentucky Derby. And there goes Matt Clifton getting just a little bit more from Mitchell Reeves. And Matt Clifton will lead, maybe, possibly, number 66, Edward Bray on the rebound, and Matt Clifton, race leader on lap 31. I tell you what, Joel, Mitchell Reeves giving Matt everything he had tonight.
Yeah, they're fighting for that number 1 position, and the two front cars are pretty much even with each other when it comes to down to the straightaways.
Now, while we are keeping our cameras focused up on these leaders, trouble in the front, ladies and gentlemen, we are 3-wide in the front. Matt Clifton getting, wow, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Clifton going way back, getting into the number 66 of Edward Bray, getting into Tristan Beast just a little bit. Matt Clifton will lose several spots, ladies and gentlemen, but that will put our race leader as Mitchell Reeves side by side with Edward Bray, but the number 21 of Matt Clifton hanging on for dear life on lap 32.
Yeah, Mitchell Reeves, when Matt Clifton drifted a little high, ducked under him, and it gave him no place to go.
Edward Bray trying one more time. Edward Bray down to the inside of, down on the front of Mitchell Reeves on lap 32. And that will be Edward Bray. Finally, after 32 laps, Edward Bray will be leading lap 33 in front of Mitchell Reeves. Raymond Rittenauer sitting in position 3 as we cross the line, possibly position 4. Tristan Beats side by side with Mitchell Reeves challenging for that second position here on lap 33.
Yeah, Tristan's trying to take over second to kind of control the front by having 2 KMA cars up front and running side by side to try to hold the pack back.
Now these 2 KMA drivers up here in the front, Edward Bray and Tristan Beats, they could potentially control the front because as we said before, right now we have got no 3 wide. So if they work together, they are either going to control the inner and the middle lane, or they are going to force Matt Clifton and the number 54 of Nick Reynolds to go 3 wide. And we do know that Matt and Nick, they are teammates, but they have got Raymond Rittenauer sitting down there on the inside on position 5, being pushing on Mitchell Reeves. Race leader number 21, Matt Clifton, down onto the inside nose of Edward Bray, racing Tristan Beats for a lead here on lap 34. My, how things change in the blink of an eye.
Yes, they do. Unlike the 1.5-mile super speedways that we were on last week, where we only had a few lead changes, we might have as many as 50 tonight.
Now we have just had another lead change as we have got the number 211 of Tristan Beats leading lap 35, being pushed on by Nick Reynolds. And I tell you what, about the only driver in the top 5 right now that has not yet made their way to the front is Steve Dutz. Steve Dutz currently sitting in position 7, where we have seen Mitchell, Tristan, Matt, Nick, Edward. Those are your top 6 drivers, ladies and gentlemen. Every driver leading a lap but Steve Dutz, and the way Steve Dutz is running tonight, Steve Dutz will be up there in the front in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely. Steve's running a very smart race. He's staying clean. He's not forcing the issue yet because it's not time to go. When it gets time to go, Steve Dutz will go.
Now behind Steve Dutz, we have got the number 77 of Jack Watts. Jack Watts right now sitting back there knowing he's in a good spot, being pushed on by our sponsor of the evening, Pro Automotive, our sponsor of the whole series, in fact. But Jason Russo down onto the inside, not quite on the same page as Jack Watts. Jack Watts opting to stay up in that middle lane. Jason Russo down onto the inside. Number 32, Seth the Merchant, possibly forcing it 3 wide, backing out. Let's keep our cameras right here on Seth and see what Seth is going to do. He's looking a little bit like he's wanting to go 3 wide.
Yeah, he's looking like he wants to go 3 wide, and I think the reason that Jason didn't get with Jack was because he got pitched out by Seth.
Right now, Seth is all over the rear end, and we're going to go 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen, as Michael Jeans with Southeastern Motorsports allowing safe passage. Thank you very much, Michael Jeans. Respectable guys over there at Southeast. But we have got Seth Merchant pushing hard on Jack Watts, wanting to go 3 wide. I tell you what, he's wanting it, but he has got nowhere to go as Jack Watts is closing up that distance onto the rear end of Raymond Rittenauer.
Yeah, Jack won't jump up there yet. He'll keep following the cars in front of him, Raymond Rittenauer, and till they need to, because it's about time from the pit.
These drivers, by my calculation, they should be just about 7 to 8 laps out of pit road. Now, as we mentioned, Joel, they do get 27, 28 laps with a tank of fuel here tonight. So, looking at about lap 45 is what we're thinking on pit row. Tristan Beats is our current race leader here on lap 39. Tristan Beats down onto the inside, abandoning the outside lane, which is now being led by Matt Clifton in the number 54.
Yeah, they get about 27, 28 laps to tank here, and the pitting strategy will be interesting to see whether the leaders come in first or somebody in the back comes in first and gets track position by pitting before the leaders.
I want to give a big shout out to our fans out there in YouTube land. Number 21, Matt Clifton, loose into pit row. Matt Clifton going into pit row. I am not sure if that was a plan. Nope, he is off the apron, trying to get back up onto the track. Matt Clifton, not sure what happened, but Matt Clifton is being picked up by his teammate and partner, Dustin Lee. But my goodness, near catastrophe for the number 21 of Matt Clifton on lap 40. Now, when that happened, Joel, I thought he was going in for a green flag pit stop, but as our replay shows, that was not his intention.
No, that wasn't his intentions. He just got pushed into a bad position where they hit the apron and lost it that way, or somebody hit him, I'm not sure, but he didn't intentionally go down there.
Well, back up to the front, we have got Nick Reynolds side by side with Seth DeMerchant. Number 22, Raymond Rittenauer. I tell you what, Raymond has pretty much been the talk of the night. I have said Raymond, and Raymond is doing an awesome job. He is showing patience. He is side by side with Seth DeMerchant, but another driver, Tim B. Cox, given the number 32 Seth all he's got for a run in that outer lane. Nick Reynolds, Seth DeMerchant racing for the race lead on lap 41.
Yeah, now we have Tristan Beats and Jack Watts coming up into that same pack and getting closer and closer to the front.
Jack Watts side by side with Everett at Fast Lane Racing. Now, we have not talked about Everett or J.R. Johnson. J.R. Johnson tonight in the number 37 in the Coors Light. Very nice paint job right there by J.R. Johnson. Hopefully Everett Lane in the number 24 and J.R. Johnson, they are on the same radio channel. These drivers might be ready to partner up as we near green flag pit stops. Up in front, number 32, Seth DeMerchant, down to the inside lane of Nick Reynolds, hooking up in front.
Yeah, somebody should be peeling off and going to pit road any lap now. They're anywhere between 42 and 45, they should be going to pit road.
Green flag pit stops coming up, ladies and gentlemen. This is race 3 of the TNT Tuesday Night Series. Stay tuned next week as we head for Kentucky, the Bluegrass State. That's going to be a barn burner at Kentucky.
Yeah, that will be a barn burner.
We've got drivers beginning their pit row rotation. We have got trouble in front, ladies and gentlemen. Trouble in front, oftentimes when these drivers are going into pit row. That happened up there with the number 54. 54 tonight being driven by Nick Reynolds. A little bit of a catastrophe up there in the front. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we did see Nick Reynolds watch his left side tires. He hits that yellow line just right, tries to control it, tries to bring her back, but Nick Reynolds hitting the apron, not able to recover that slight contact, and that will bring out our second caution of the evening. Unfortunately, when Nick Reynolds popped that apron, he took out J.R. Johnson in the number 37, the number 22 of Raymond Rittenauer, and Fast Lanes Racing number 24, Everett Lane. Several drivers caught up into that. Number 22 of Raymond Rittenauer going for a ride. Now, I tell you what, we talked about the danger of that apron, and right there is case and proof. We were almost to green flag pit stops, but I tell you what, no green flag pit stops quite yet. I know drivers were about 2 laps out. Great run, though, drivers. Very great run. Now we have got Seth DeMerchant and Tim B. Cox going into pit row, along with Jack Watts, Mitchell Reeves, and Jason Russo, our race sponsor of the evening. Pretty much everybody's going to pit right now. Everybody was very close to being out of fuel. That will bring out our second caution of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, 17 lead changes. We are past the halfway point, and we are going to get an in-race interview here with our sponsor very shortly. And momentarily, ladies and gentlemen, we will have Jason Russo joining us up here in the booth.
Hey Scott, what's going on, buddy?
Hey Jason, how are you, sir? How's the racing going here at TNT tonight?
It's actually pretty good. Little squirrely up here in the front, but we're holding it together and trying to put on a good show for all the fans out there.
Copy that. We have got fans out there like Michelle McMaster Eisenhower, the guys from All Pro Racing, and the guys over at Southeast joining the show out there. Hey, but more importantly, you are the sponsor for this 15-week TNT series. Pro Automotive, looking very sharp in that white with green and red lettering. Pro Automotive Impala 2011. Talk to us about Pro Automotive.
Pro Automotive is an auto repair facility up here in Dudley, Massachusetts. We're here for all your professional automotive needs.
All righty. Anybody you'd like to give some shout-outs to?
Big shout out to you, Scott, at KMA, all of my fellow KMA drivers, All Pro Broadcasting, Pad, and everyone that comes out and races with us every night.
Alrighty, copy that. Good luck to you, and good luck to the guys over there at Pro Automotive, and thank you for all you do, sir.
Thank you.
That was our sponsor, Pro Automotive, doing a whole lot of stuff here out here with KMA Racing.
Well, now that we've had our second caution flag and we've had another pit stop, they're good. They're got full tank of fuel, 4 new tires, and as soon as the caution car gets them lined up, we'll be ready to go back racing, and we'll see what happens.
Our current race leader is Seth DeMerchant. Unfortunately, can't get in a race interview. Seth DeMerchant having a radio communication problem tonight. Second place belongs to Tim B. Cox. Our sponsor, Jason Russo, sitting in position 3. Jarrett Lipster in position 4. Donald Stewart in P5.
Dustin Lee's in P6. Ron Hartfield's in P7. Everett Lane is in P8. Scott Fitzmichael's in P9. And Ivan Garcia in P10. We haven't talked about Ivan. He's been at the back, but here at the end, here coming close to the end of the race, he's up in the top 10.
Ivan Garcia, a very great driver. But hey, I tell you what, I want to get my good friend Everett F. Lane, Fast Lane Racing in the booth with me. Right now, Everett, you are in P8. Talk to us about what your plans are.
I'm going to try to stay out of trouble. Done used up both my quick fixes, and we ain't got no more cars to pull off the trailer, so we'll see what this 24 KMA Impala can do tonight.
Now, I tell you what, I am looking at that KMA Chevy Impala. Red and black, got some eye things looking on that hood, looking very sharp. Who painted that up for you?
Oh, that's one of my favorite paint jobs. I can paint them up pretty good, just as well as anybody else. But there's some nice-looking cars out here tonight, and I figured I'd throw me out a nice-looking car.
I tell you what, I am very impressed. Looks like one of them red and black bandanas I used to wear back in 1984. Looking very sharp. Everett, great job.
Thank you, Scott. Keep up good work up there, guys. You're doing a good job.
Yes, sir, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Scott.
Alrighty, and we are at 1 to go. So, Joel, we're past the halfway point. Go on and give us a 47-lap synopsis here.
Well, we've had some good side-by-side racing. We've had some cautions come in to slow things back down. We haven't had any green flags pit stops, but we have had some good racing. Hopefully, we'll get some green flag stop in this next run of close to 40 laps, and we'll see what happens at the end.
Now, these drivers will definitely have to pit one more time. As we mentioned, the fuel load is about 27 laps. So they're going to have to break out my calculator here. We're on lap 47, 57, 67, 77, minus 2, So we're looking at about lap 75. That is going to leave these drivers, if they pitted just now, they're going to be about 5 laps short. So now let's talk about short pitting. Pace car is off. Back to green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we're back to green flag racing. There, Seth DeMarker in the 32 is in the lead with Tim Becox in second place as they go into one.
Jason Russo all over the rear end of Seth the Merchant. Donald Stewart onto the rear end of Jason Russo. Again, we've got Jason Russo partnering up with his teammate Donald Stewart in the number 78 Havoline Impala 2011. But on the outside, we have got the number 20 of Tim Becox being pushed on by Jarrett.
Yeah, Jarrett's up front pushing on Tim Cox, and they are trying to stay there. We have Seth in the 32 still in the lead. Tim Becox in the 20s in second still, with Jason Russo pushing on Seth in the 14 and Jarrett pushing on Tim in the 99.
I tell you what, some great racing right now. Now, we have not talked about Jarrett Lipster a whole lot. Right now, Jarrett Lipster in the number 99, all over the rear end of Tim B. Cox. Jarrett Lipster, you know his older brother, Cody Lipster, my co-announcer on the special events, and Cody has taught Jarrett well. We were talking about earlier, knowing when to hold him, knowing when to fold him. And right now, Jarrett is no longer in hold him mode. He is in go-get-em mode. Talk to me about go time, Joel. Is it go time yet?
Nah, it's not go time yet. It won't be go time until after that next pit stop. That'll depend on when the drivers pit. If they short pit and pit, say at lap 50 or 55, and make the last stop be the full run, then that's what we call short pitting. If they run out the fuel, then they'll have like a 5-lap run that they've got to pit for. And that's depending on if we get another caution, that's a good idea. If we don't get another caution, then short pitting might be the better idea.
Tim B. Cox abandoning that outer lane to get down onto the inside, and the number 32 of Seth D. Merchant abandoning the inside lane to get up onto the outside lane. My, how things change. But still, Jarrett Lipster sitting there, second car on the inside, pushing on to the rear end of Seth the Merchant for all he is worth. Now down on the inside, Jason Russo not as quite hard onto the rear end of Tim B. Cox as Jarrett is onto Seth, and that is exactly why Jarrett is going to push the number 32. We are 3 wide in the front, 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen. Jarrett Lipster letting out of that to get out of that 3 wide. Great driving by Jarrett Lipster. As I tell you what, that could have been the big one on lap 51.
Yes, it could if he'd finished going 3 wide, but I'm not sure that he won't just sticking his nose out and got a little bit further than he wanted to get to just cool the car down some, because he had been pushing for quite a few laps.
Well, look at Jarrett go. Jarrett Lipster now in the number 99 being pushed around the number 32 by Steve Dutz in the number 7, and Jarrett Lipster going for his first lead lap of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on lap 52. 2 brand new race leaders. We've got Jarrett Lipster side by side with Steve Dutz. Neither driver has led a lap tonight. Both of these drivers wanting it very hard. Coming to lap 53, Jarrett getting a big boost from Seth the Merchant on lap 52.
Yeah, Seth's pushing Jarrett hard now, just like Jarrett was pushing Seth. Steve Dukes will get hooked up with his pusher and he'll get to the front. Don't know if he'll lead a lap, but he'll get up there beside him. Whether he can hold it to get across the line, it's different.
Now, hey, let's drop back 4 slots. Ivan Garcia in the number 72 RC Cola car, working with Donald Sadusky in the number 19. But Donald Sadusky is unfortunately 1 lap down, I do believe. I might be wrong on that. And I am wrong on that. Donald Sadusky is actually on the lead lap. Donald Sadusky pushing Ivan Garcia. Ivan Garcia catching up to Mitchell Reeves in that middle lane. Ivan Garcia doing a great job tonight in the RC Cola number 72.
Yeah, the teammates are getting all grouped together now with lap 54, and as soon as they get their next pit stop in, the teammates will get even closer together, and they'll start packing it up to try to run one of the teammates to the front.
Now, speaking of teammates, we do know that Steve Dutz is on the same radio channel as Jarrett Lipster and Ivan Garcia. So Steve Dutz tonight working with the KMA drivers, and we have got Steve Dutz and Jarrett Lipster up there in front. Now, I tell you what, we talk about youth versus age. Jarrett Lipster is one of our younger drivers here at KMA, but as I mentioned, he has been taught by his older brother Cody. And Cody Lipster is actually a race driver in real life. Team owned by his older sister, so Cody does come from a racing family. So Jarrett has got racing in his blood. Jarrett and Steve side by side racing towards lap 66 for that number one spot to lead a lap. Go Jarrett, go Steve.
They're side by side, and it's a crapshoot as to who's going to lead this lap.
Well, I tell you what, our viewers, they are getting excited out there. We've got trouble in the front with the number 32 of Seth DeMerchant. Ladies and gentlemen, that will bring out our next caution of the evening. 72 of Seth DeMerchant just getting loose. And I don't know if that was a blowout, Joel. We're going to back it up. We're going to take a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay. You know, it doesn't appear that Seth actually touched anybody. Well, at least not until he went left and then went right. Then he touched quite a few people. But that might have been a blowout on lap 56.
Yeah, it might have been a blowout because I don't see any reason for on the replay for him to move around like he did.
Well, unfortunately, due to that, we do know that the number 20 got into a spin. Jason Russo catching up into it. Donald Stewart narrowly avoiding it. What a change of events, ladies and gentlemen, here at Daytona. Now, we were talking about the consequences of that yellow line. You know, we did not see Seth hit that yellow line. He just broke loose. So I am suspecting a complete blowout out there.
It could have been a blowout, or if he didn't change tires, it could be he just lost it because of tire wear. The 5 car was also Gary Burt was the 5 car of Gary Whitmer was also involved in that.
Unfortunate break for it. Gary Whitmer out here tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get an interview in with the young gun of the evening. We have been talking about Jarrett Lipster, and he is out there in the front. Right now he is going into pit row, concentrating very hard. So we're going to wait until he gets done going into pit row so he can focus, keeping our camera's eye on Jarrett Lipster.
How's it going, Scott?
I am doing awesome. We're watching you out there in pit row. You taking 4, you taking 2? You're going to give the hamsters a little bit of extra food tonight?
Yeah, I took 2. I'm planning on another caution here. So.
Well, how are you feeling tonight? We're out here talking to our fans about that. And, you know, we're referring to you as a young gun tonight. But lo and behold, you are just out here holding your own, doing a great job. Talk to me about the experience that is in your blood.
Well, I've gotten a lot of teachings around my area. I got taught by Scott Kolovic. I got taught by Jason Ruscio, Jack Watts, Cody Lippior, my dad, and everybody around me.
All right, now you mentioned your dad. Has he got some racing in his blood?
No, he does not. He just helped my brother out, and he made a lot of cars for him, and he helped him spot, and it just really helped out for each other, for both of us.
Alrighty, well, sounds like you got a lot of great support out here tonight. Doing a very good job. Where are you going to be restarting at, Jarrett? Have you still got that pole spot?
I'm going to be restarting third.
Well, that's a pretty good spot. So good luck to you tonight, Jarrett. I know you got big brother Cody out here watching you. So pressure's on. Dress to impress, brother.
Yep, thank you.
And while they were on pit road, Jack Watts took 4 tires and fuel. Ivan Garcia took left side tires and fuel.
We are underneath our third caution of the evening tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, our current race leader is Everett Lane. We've got Steve Deutsch, though, sitting in position 2. Steve Deutsch tonight driving the number 7 Denver Mattress Impala. Talk to me, Steve.
Oh, hey, what's up?
How are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Talk to us about your race.
Oh, it's been a good race. Been trying to play a smart race here, trying to get out of trouble. Got caught up in a little incident beforehand, but I think we're going to be out good. Try to win this race tonight.
Have you got anybody out here tonight you're working with?
Oh, I'm going to try to work with Everett Fastlane tonight to see if we can get up here and start controlling these restarts so we can get out here and get a 1-2 finish for K-Man.
Alrighty, well, good luck to you, Steve Deutsch, doing a very impressive tonight, representing Denver Mattress in the number 7.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have got Everett up on front, Steve Deutsch, and Mitchell Reeves in position 3. We have got time for one more in-race interview. We're looking at our position 3 tonight. Mitchell Reeves, talk to me.
How we doing, Scott?
I tell you what, you're wearing us out up here, being up there in the front like you do every night, night after night. How are you doing this?
Just trying to stay out of trouble. We've missed 2 pretty big wrecks by the hair of our chin. I mean, and I don't. It's been really crazy up here. It's been really hard to pass too. I think we'll try to stay out the rest of this race and see what we can get done. But you know, we had a pretty bad result on Sunday, and we were in a good position there. So you never know. You could be in first and get wrecked. It happened to me Sunday, so you never know what'll happen. But hopefully we'll be at the right place at the right time.
Alrighty, copy that. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to shout your name out here. I know you are a real-life racing enthusiast, doing a little bit of racing out there yourself. Real quick, talk to us about what you do out there.
Well, I do actually drag race. I located in Alabama. I do a lot of drag racing. It's been my passion basically my whole life, and I've started this passion, and it's just kind of taken off. But yeah, Mitchell Reeves Racing. If anybody wants to watch my live feed videos, I do try to do live feed videos about every weekend, and from in-car cam. But it's been a great year. It's coming to the end, but we can't race every day on the drag strip, so that's why we come to iRace and do it during the week.
And we are very glad that you do come into iRacing. Good luck to you and the guys you're running with over there at Southeast.
Thanks, Scott.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great race tonight. We are on lap 60 of an 80-lap race. We are underneath our third caution. We have had 23 lead changes. And I tell you what, we have not seen any 3 wide as of yet, ladies and gentlemen, but it is coming. I guarantee you that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Michelle, Cody, Southeast Motorsports, All Pro Racing, it is about time to put those bets in on who you're rooting for tonight. Post them up in the All Pro Broadcasting chat. Hit that like button. Get involved, ladies and gentlemen. Always fun with KMA Racing, and All Pro Broadcasting pace car is in.
Pace car's in, and Everett Lane 24 is already on the throttle and heading down the short.
Steve Deutsch, not quite as powerful as restart, getting kind of hung out in that outside lane, but he has got Jarrett Lipster in tow. But we've got Mitchell Reeves all over the rear end of Everett Lane. Mitchell Reeves up in front of Steve Deutsch. A little bit of a bold move right there by Mitchell Reeves. Relying heavily on those mirrors, but that just may work out on him. But that will put Donald Sadusky down onto the tail end of Everett Lane. Now, we do know that Donald and Everett on the same radio channel, but Joel, Everett has no more backup vehicles, so if anything does go wrong tonight, that will end Everett's night, so he's got to stay out in front, safe and out of trouble.
Yeah, he's got to stay out there, or if he even gets back 2 positions off the lead, he could be tore up to where it ends his night.
Everett Lane side by side with Mitchell Reeves, Steve Dutz, Donald Sadusky, Seth DeMerchant, Jarrett Lipster making up your top 6. Position 7, Ivan Garcia in the RC Cola Impala 2011 being safe. But coming up side by side with Ivan Garcia, we have got Jack Watts being pushed on by his partner, Tristan Beats, in the number 211.
We have Scott Fistelmacher right behind Ivan Garcia pushing on him. And then behind him we have the 51 of Dustin Lee.
I tell you what, a lot of great racing out here tonight with Southeast Motorsports and KMA Racing. Everybody wants a piece of this action on lap 63, but these drivers do have got to remember that they still have got to a pit stop. And we have got our first bets on the winner tonight. Michelle McMaster Eisenhower out here rooting for Mitchell Reeves. Cody, of course, rooting for his younger brother, Jarrett. Mitchell Reeves in P2, Jarrett Lipster in P5. Great racing up here in front. Things getting hot and heavy on lap 63.
That is correct, but I think Scott, we're not going to be pitting anymore. They come back on the track about lap 57, so they should be able to make it if they're getting 27 laps to the tank.
Well, that is assuming that they did go into pit road. A few drivers opted to stay out. Going to possibly play those odds. Right now, we do have Everett, Donald Sadusky, number 19, down on the apron. Not sure what happened to Donald Sadusky, but he is down onto that apron. Back up to the front with our race leader, 0-2 Mitchell Reeves. Everett Lane abandoning the rear end of Mitchell Reeves, going up to the outside, going to get a big shove from Steve Dukes. Number 21, Matt Clifton in the number 21. Getting into a little bit of trouble here on lap 64. Going to take a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay and figure out exactly what went wrong with the number 21 of Matt Clifton. As we watch that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay, it appears that Matt Clifton was not quite clear of his teammate, number 51. Number 51 being driven by Dustin Lee. I tell you what, spotters are everything. Matt Clifton thinking he was clear to get down in front of his partner Dustin Lee, but not quite clear. Clipping onto the rear end of Scott Finstermacher and coming back up into the number 54. The number 54 driven by Nick Reynolds. Chaos on lap 63, Joel.
Yeah, and if they pit now, they can get to the end for sure. So this will be the last time they go on pit road if they pit.
And backing that up on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay, Dustin Lee, unfortunately, being up and involved into that in the number 51. I had called that driver wrong, but it was the 21 of Matt Clifton and the 51 of Dustin Lee. My bad, ladies and gentlemen, but either way it goes, Scott Finstermacher tonight going for a ride. Nick Reynolds going for a ride. Appears that the number 51 of Dustin Lee actually, safe avoidance. Not much damage on Dustin Lee. So, very good break for Dustin Lee. But back up to the front, Everett Lane, Mitchell Reeves, Steve Dukes, Seth DeMerchant, and Cody Lipster, Jarrett Lipster, rounding out our top 5.
Yes, now we'll see who decides to pit again or who who tries to stay out.
So far, it has been a very good night tonight. We are underneath our 4 caution, and you know, 4 cautions. Nobody likes cautions, but 4 at Daytona. Oh, talk to me about that.
4 cautions at Daytona is not that many. If we get to finish the race without getting another one, that's not a bad ratio. Daytona is a super fast track, but it's narrow. You don't have the space on it that you have on Talladega, so it's tighter and you are racing in tighter positions.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get another race interview in. Watching the number 77 of Jack Watts driving down on the apron, going to go into pit row, I would assume. Jack Watts, what's your plan right now?
Actually, I'm not going to go into pits. I'm going to stay out. I think I've got enough fuel tires to get to the end. My plan is try to get to the front. Got a couple teammates right here, so hopefully one of us can get up there and win this thing.
All right, well, you do have Jarrett Lipster. We've been talking about Jarrett quite a bit, so you're going to try to hook up with Jarrett.
Yeah, I got Jared up here, I got Ivan up here, and I got Tristan up here. So I'm hoping one of us 4 can get to the front.
All right, now you are looking very sharp out there in that Chevy Impala 2011. Talk to us about that 2011 Chevy.
This thing's been pretty good, actually. I've been lucky. Got through a couple big wrecks. Even the big one, I just barely missed it. Hung out in the back at first, trying to make sure I don't wreck this thing, and then going where I feel it's safe, and hopefully this bad boy will get us to the front.
All righty, copy that. You were looking very sharp out here. Anybody you want to give a big shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my KMA teammates, All Pro Broadcasting, and Jason Ruscio for putting this on with All Pro or Pro Automotive.
All righty, copy that. Big shout out to Jason and Pro Automotive. Good luck to you, Jack. We'll be keeping our cameras up on you and Jarrett, as well as all the race leaders. Good job tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Jack Watts out here representing KMA in the number 77. So far, great race out here. But I want to remind our viewers out there, not only does KMA do these races, All Pro Broadcasting, very busy man out there in the broadcasting community. Check out Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. Check out the other broadcast that All Pro Broadcasting is involved in.
Yeah, Michael DeMicchio with All Pro Broadcasting is one of the busiest men in broadcasting for iRacing there is. You need to check him out and all his other races that he broadcasts as well as ours.
Now we've got a couple of special events coming up on you. Coming up on Saturday the 15th, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a Texas event, and that is going to be all about our sponsor, Pro Automotive. That will be the Pro Automotive 100 at Texas. And 2 weeks after that, ladies and gentlemen, the 3rd annual KMA Spooktacular. That will be a Halloween-themed race, so bring your ghosts and bring your goblins, ladies and gentlemen. October 29th, Saturday, that will be a spooky race here at Talladega.
John will put some paint jobs out there that people will not believe, I'm sure.
Tell you what, one more big shout out to Over the Top Paints and Designs, John Hedrick, the official painter for KMA Racing. We have also got All Pro Broadcasting, the official broadcaster of KMA Racing, and G.W. Whitmer, Gary Whitmer, the official videographer for KMA Racing. KMA Racing getting a lot going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting back to some green flag racing very soon. Our race leader, Everett F. Lane. P2, Mitchell Reeves, Steve Dukes. P3, Seth the Merchant. P4, Jared
Pace going off,
P5.
they're on the throttle. 24, Everett Fast Lane is in the lead going down front stretch towards turn 1.
Now, right now, Everett does need to have complete domination. Everett getting a big boost from the number 7 up, Steve Dukes. Mitchell Reeves falling onto the inside lane behind Steve Dukes. Now we are just about 10 to go. So where do you want to be right now, Joel? Do you want to be up there? Do you want to be Everett, or do you want to be Steve, or do you want to be Mitchell?
I'm not sure. It can go either way. Usually the car that's on the outside can usually take the lead coming down to the flag on at Daytona, where they can at Talladega, because the stripe is in the center of the track at Daytona and not all the way down to turn 1 where it is in Talladega.
Keeping our cameras high on the number 99 of Jarrett Lipster. Ladies and gentlemen, get your bets on. Hopefully we will go green flag racing here and out. Jarrett Lipster is in a perfect position to strike. You know, Joe, in my opinion right now, if you're Everett Lane, you're up there in the front, or you're Mitchell Reeves up there in the front, that's not where you want to be, because that big target is on your back. I think the best guy in the picture right now is either Jarrett Lipster or the number 51 of Dustin Lee, possibly Ivan Garcia in the number 72.
That's a good bet if they take it 3 wide. If the 2 that are in the front stay where they're at, then all bets are off. It's going to be between one of those 2.
Well, I tell you what, Joel, they are going to have to take it 3 wide, because if we follow double wide all the way through, well, it's going to be Everett. Oh, number 14, Jason Russo. Jason Russo turning left, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Russo in trouble on lap 71, but we are green flag racing. Jason Russo just turning left. I am stunned, ladies and gentlemen. Side by side up in the front with Everett Lane and Mitchell Reeves. Steve Dutz getting a big push from the RC Cola number 72, Ivan Garcia. But Jarrett Lipster hanging on to the rear end of Seth. Seth hanging on to the rear end of Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves side by side. Hey, while I got a minute, I do want to give a big shout out to Travis Browder. Travis Browder was outside today doing some physical exercise and unfortunately did hurt his back. Our fan, Michelle McMaster Eisenhower, just reminded me about that. Thank you, Michelle. Prayers out to Travis. Everett Lane up in front, 3 wide in the front with Everett and Mitchell Reeves. Contact in front. Well, I tell you what, Joel, I saw that one coming a mile away. We saw Mitchell Reeves going 3 wide with Everett, with Steve Dutz on the inside. Mitchell Reeves, the monkey in the middle. And I tell you what, you talk about that hair in the biscuit. That hair in the biscuit closed up right there for Mitchell Reeves on lap 72.
Yeah, Mitchell Reeves was the hair in the biscuit, and he didn't have a whole lot to work with.
That is the nature of the beast at Daytona, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be getting back to some flag racing here momentarily, but very tough break right there with Mitchell. You know, Mitchell was doing everything he could to stay out there. Car just broke loose. You know, that is the nature of the beast here at Daytona. We were 3 wide up at the front, but unfortunately, Seth DeMerchant out there minding his own business. Jarrett Lipster minding his own business. Same thing for Jack Watts. All right, that will bring out our 5th caution of the evening. 27 lead changes. We're going to be going back to what we should anticipate as about a 4-lap shootout. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. It is not over till it is over. We've got Ivan Garcia leading the pack, position 1, sitting in pit row, going to lose a couple of spots as he misses his pit stall in pit row.
Yeah, he's had to back up and go back to his stall.
Well, I tell you what, we have got a brand new race leader tonight on lap 74. Bobby Everhart in the number 71 yellow
Running damage, Joe.
Benzo car, looking very good tonight. Bobby Everhart, if you got a copy.
Yes, sir. I got a copy, Scott.
All right, you are looking sharp out there in that Pennzoil number 71. You are on P1. It is lap 74, coming off of our fifth caution. We're going to have about a 3-lap shootout. What are you thinking?
I don't know how much front end damage I got from getting into Jason a little while ago, but I'm going to try to hang on to what I can get out of this tonight. It's been a heck of a night.
Well, you are sitting up there in P1, P2, P3, P4 with 4 KMA teammates. Do you think they're going to protect you? You've got Jack Watts nipping at your heels and Tristan. You might be in a good spot. What do you think?
Well, it's hard to say. They had to go in pit, I thought, because they was in that last wreck, and I guess they used their quick repair to get out.
All righty. Anybody you want to give a big shout out to? Bobby Everhart.
Well, just shout out to KMA for having such a good race tonight. It's had a few cautions, but I hate we saw that last before that, because we had already set up for our green flag pit stop and ready to go in.
All righty, we'll copy that, Bobby Everhart. Godspeed, and stay out there in front and get her done.
All right, thank you, Scott.
All righty, one more interview here. I have got J.R. Johnson. J.R. Johnson in the number 77 tonight. How about it, J.R.?
Hey, Scott, how are you?
37, how you doing tonight?
Scott, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got a copy on you. You are in P2. Going to have a very short shootout lap. This is going to be over in about like 7 minutes. What are you going to do with it?
I'm having trouble hearing you, Scott. I got people talking over me here, but I'm just going to try and hold out for this. I got some damage from that last wreck, and I'm just hoping to get through it here.
Alrighty, well, I wish you the best of luck out there. You're looking very sharp out there in that Coors Light Chevy Nationwide 2011, so good luck to you, J.R. Johnson.
Thank you, Scott.
Okay, we're still under caution, and the field's getting ready to bunch up in the two by two to start this shootout. Well, this is the time that the crew chief tells you one thing: bring back the steering wheel or the trophy, and that's the time it is. There's no go time now; it's just trophy time, and these drivers will be driving for that trophy as hard as they can.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, if it was not time before, it is time now. Michelle, talk to me. Who are you placing your bets on out there? Ladies and gentlemen, tell me who you think is going to win tonight. Right now, we've got Bobby Everhart, J.R. Johnson, Donald Stewart, Dustin Lee, and Seth the Merchant. Now, I'll tell you what, looking at Seth, he has had communication problems, cannot get him on the race interview chat. But right now, he is sitting very strongly with solid position 5. Has been running top 6 all night. Where do you want to be right now, coming up onto a 3 to 4 lap shootout, Joel?
I don't want to be no further back than 3rd or 4th. If I'm past those front two positions, then I'm too far back.
But do you want to be Bobby Everhart out here in front?
I think Bobby Everhart, unless he makes that thing mighty wide, he's into setting up.
Now, we have not had opportunity to talk to Donald Stewart tonight in the number 78. Now, Donald Stewart looking like he backed into a telephone pole, suffering severe right rear damage here. How's that damage going to affect him on a 3-lap shootout?
Well, he's not going to get up to speed as quick as anybody else. He's got to tuck up underneath Bobby Everhart just as quick as possible so that he takes as much wind off that car as he can going through the corners, because that's going to be like a parachute on that car to him.
And he is all over the rear end of Bobby Everhart is off. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Everhart with a massive jump. And the number 78 of Donald Stewart doing everything he can. Going to get some help from Seth in the number 32. But I tell you what, Seth and Jack Watts in the number 77. Where's Jack going to go? It appears that Jack is going to stay true to Seth, getting a big push from the number 51, Dustin Lee. But Seth up in front, passing Bobby Everhart, looking for a new race leader. But Jack Watts challenging the number 32 on lap 77. Ladies and gentlemen, it is go time. It is balls to the wall time. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go, Jack Watts and Seth. Let's bring her home.
Yeah, it's go time, and they're going, and just hang on to your seats because this is going to be an interesting end.
Right now, Jack Watts staying in the middle lane, getting a big boost from Dustin Lee and Steve Dutz in number 7. But Seth on the inside, almost abandoned. Bobby Everhart trying to get to the rear end of Seth. Ivan Garcia getting onto the rear end of Steve Dutz. Steve Dutz, number 51, Dustin Lee, down to the inside, abandoning Jack Watts. Jack Watts falling back, losing positions. Seth in the number 32, all over the rear end of the pink and black, number 51. Number 51, our current race leader, Dustin Lee. But Jack Watts and Steve Dutz representing KMA Racing on the middle lane, getting a big push from Ivan Garcia and Jarrett Lipster still in tow.
Yeah, Jack's on the outside, and if they'll get tightened up a little bit tighter, they can come by the 51 car.
Viewers out there getting exciting. Michelle McMaster Eisenhower putting her money down on Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee is our current race leader on lap 79. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to come down to that final lap, but we have got Steve Dutz, Jack Watts side by side with the number 51 of Dustin Lee and the number 32 of Seth. And I tell you what, all bets are off. Ladies and gentlemen, Ivan Garcia wanting to go 3 wide, being pushed on by Jarrett. Not taking the bait. Side by side, down the backstretch, outer lane versus inner lane. Jack Watts against number 51 of Dustin Lee for the win. Ladies and gentlemen, who will it be?
My money's on Jack being on the outside. I think he'll get fine on the front on the stretch.
Jack Watts going for a ride. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos. What a way to end the race, ladies and gentlemen. But that will seal the deal tonight. And we have got Dustin Lee, Seth DeMerchant, and third place has yet to be decided. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no caution. That happened at the tail end of it. I do not know what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back and take a look at that, but that will seal the deal. And Dustin Lee will win tonight's race, but with our broadcasting replay, it does appear that the number 7 of Steve Dutz and Jack Watts, I do not know what happened right there, but Steve Dutz and Jack Watts in the 77 and number 7 getting loose and flying up into the wall. But that will allow Dustin Lee in the number 51 and Seth DeMerchant in the number 32 to take home position 1 and 2, and Mitchell Reeves bringing home a solid number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty. Hang out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get our first, second, and third place up into the booth with us momentarily. Joining us first off will be Mitchell Reeves.
Mitchell, how you doing now that you finished on the podium?
Oh, very glad. I don't think I've ever finished a race in third place before. Basically getting wrecked across the finish line. I think I finished that race backwards, but sometimes you just gotta, it happens like that. But definitely a good race and a great comeback. We got kind of sucked in some stuff there earlier with Everett and had a huge wreck there, but hey, stuff happens. But just glad to have a good recovery back to third place.
Okay, you got anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I got to give a huge shout out to Southeast Motorsports. Seth the Merchant came on today. He didn't come on. He was actually helping us today. He pushed us in that win. I don't think we could have done as well as we did without Seth. And a huge shout out to Dustin Lee coming back and winning this race. Southeast Motorsports, basically 1-2-3 tonight. Huge shout out to House of Smoke, big race we're putting on this weekend. We'll do some live feed from there. And a huge shout out to ABB Engineering for great motors and everything like that. So huge shout out to them.
Well, congratulations, Mitchell, and we'll catch you at the after party.
Thank you.
All righty, how about it? Seth the Merchant, have you got a copy?
Yeah.
All righty, I tell you what, Seth, we had tried to interview a couple of times tonight. I am so glad you got your radio comms fixed. So, talk to us about that second place. Kick some butt tonight, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they're pretty good there. I told Mitchell and I told his teammates there that I would try to help them the best I could because I got into a position where I felt like I probably wasn't going to have a chance at the win. So I told him I'd do everything I could to try to help them in points, because I'm not in the points battle. I've missed the first couple races in the season, so just wanted to help him out there a bit, and I was in a good position and we got him the win.
Now, you are out here tonight representing Southeast Motorsports.
Kinda. I mean, I wasn't like in their team speak or anything, but I messaged him and told him I'd help him out best I could there at the end.
All righty, well, I tell you what, Seth the Merchant, very big congratulatory for winning race 4 of the TNT Series. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Dustin, you got a copy?
Oh, yeah.
All right, talk to us, son. How'd your race go?
Well, it was pretty boring there until like the last 20 laps. Kind of just rode in the back and bide our time. A lot of hard racing going on, and I didn't think I was going to be able to make it to the front there. They ended up having that big wreck. The leaders did, and I just kind of got lucky and got up there, and Seth got behind us, and Seth is a really good pusher. I knew that, and that was all him right there at the very end, man. Honestly, didn't have him, probably wouldn't have won that race.
All right, well, tell us about that pink and black car. Does that have any kind of significance out here tonight?
Yeah, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Just wanted to kind of change the colors up and, run pink for that. And, I guess it pretty much brought me some luck, too, as well.
All righty, I tell you what, I stand behind you 100% on that breast cancer awareness. Save the tatas. But big shout out to you tonight and Southeast Motorsports. You and Mitchell, Seth, and I tell you what, all the boys at Southeast pretty much dominating tonight. Talk to us about that teamwork.
Yeah, we're a good group of guys, and we race a lot together. At a lot of different places, and just pretty much just getting along good with each other, and we kind of know how each other works, around in the draft, and as well as kind of moves that we're gonna make and stuff like that. But just real good communication, and honestly, that's what you gotta have to have a good team.
All right, copy that, and congratulations one more time, Dustin Lee, representing Southeast Motorsports. Alrighty, Joel, give us a big old race sum up here on TNT Tuesday.
Race sum up. 5 cautions. Not overly cautioned race for Daytona. Wish that we hadn't had that many. Wish we had gotten in some green flags pit stop. Drivers drove very good while they were running side by side and keeping from rubbing each other than when something happened and caused a caution. Fast driving, extremely close racing, and moves that you couldn't have slid a piece of paper in front of between on some of them, and it was a thrilling race, in my opinion, for the night.
Now, I tell you what, it was a very thrilling race tonight. So one more time, Dustin Lee winning tonight's TNT Tuesday Night Series, followed by Seth the Merchant, Mitchell Reeves, Jarrett Lipster, very respectable 4th, Jack Watts on 5th, and Bobby Everhart and Ivan Garcia, and Tristan Beats pulling down 6th, 7th, and 8th, Jacob Trent Bradford with a very solid 9, and Raymond Rittenauer rounding out our top 10. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have got another broadcast coming to you Friday night. Now, Friday night, we are at Atlanta in the KOE Series that will be live broadcasted by All Pro Broadcasting Network. Big shout out to All Pro Broadcasting Network with Michael D'Amico on the cams, the man with plan, busiest broadcaster in iRacing history. And I stand corrected. We are at Las Vegas. I said Atlanta. That's where we're just at, ladies and gentlemen. But Las Vegas on Friday. Alrighty, Joel, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Great racing. Was a fantastic night for the race. And congratulations to Dustin Lee for the win. And Scott, I'm out of here.
Copy that. Big shout out to Southeast. They are in the house, as Michelle says. I am Scott. He is Joel. We've got Mike on the cameras. We are All Pro Broadcasting and KMA Racing in the TNT Pro Automotive Series. Good night, gentlemen.
2 wheels in the open road. Got the throttle wide open. Be on my pace. Got 100 horses between my legs. No destination, no end in sight. Just me in the open road, riding into the morning.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.